Hello, folks. Tonight we're looking at an interesting beer. It is Examine Bornem Dubbel. Now I'm supposed to be joined by Reviewing Under Influence, Jordan at Reviewing Under Influence. I noticed he had tried to join me. He said he's having some computer issues. This was a bit of an impromptu examination, and not so much impromptu because we had been planning to do the double and we're planning to do the triple coming up. So let me see. I'll try to send him, try to check with him over there on the Book of Faces, and I'll say I have invited you. We'll see if he can show up. I bought this and reviewed it about 4 years ago, maybe going on 5 years ago, and then I did a revisit 2 years ago. And he was saying, "Oh, I have this." He bought this variety pack, which is what I bought, and he was saying, "Well," he said, do you have the variety pack?" I said, "Yes, we were able to get that in the past." He said, "Well, if you get it, I'll do an examination with you. I'd like to do that." I said, "Okay." So I remembered in the past they were $17.99 for those 6 packs, and you get 6 different beers. And sure enough, at Dornex they still had the price. Now I want to look up something, and so I bought the 6 pack. I'm going to look up something real fast. Dutch. No. Okay, now on the website, sorry about that delay. I was trying to look up something that I had forgotten to look up earlier. On the website for Van Steenberge, okay, so I bought this and we said we would examine. We did the Pirat, and that was a little off track because we got confused, or I got confused about the brands, but we're supposed to do Bornem and Bornem Triple. On the website for Van Steenberge, they said Bornem Dubbel, or Dubbel, but double in English, is a lively abbey beer, meaning it is bottle conditioned, it's fermented, and then re-fermented in the bottle with live yeast. That after its first fermentation in the barrel, nicely evolves during its second fermentation in the bottle or in the barrel, soft as velvet. And let's see if this comes out. It's been a while since I've had it. Let's see if it matches up with their description. Soft as velvet. This double with warm dark brown color and burgundy undertones has fruity taste and hoppy aftertaste. It's creamy, rich, and firm foam head crowns it. Creamy, rich, and firm. Few other dark doubles can match this Bornem Dubbel. The dark double is often served with meat dishes such as steaks, roasted meat, wild, or even sausages. And I think andouille would be a good sausage with that, or perhaps hot Cajun smoked sausage, or mild. Okay, so we'll see if he can join us. All I can do is go on with the Hangout and see if he shows up. Okay, again, because he was there. He did say there was some computer issues, connectivity problems possibly in that upper northern, far northern part of Alberta. It's just a plain blue cap. I don't have any glasses from Van Steenberge, which their brewing history goes back to the year 1789 with the unfortunate outbreak of the French Revolution, or more accurately, the revolution in France. Because if you study the history of it, the revolution actually originated in Bavaria, in Germany. And France was the country where it presented the people involved in it their best opportunity to launch this world revolution. Anyway, off of that. But 1789, at that time, Belgium was still part of the Netherlands. Austrian Netherlands, which was what we call today Belgium, and Luxembourg. And then after here he's trying to reconnect. After the collapse of revolutionary France, in the first go around in 1815, you got the royal revolution under the monarchy with the figurehead, and then the reign of terror, the Directory, Napoleonic dictatorship, and then Emperor Napoleon. After the fall of that in 1815, they reconstituted the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg, those three countries together, as one kingdom called the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which did not last. Belgium broke off. Luxembourg was included, or the eastern part was included within the German Confederation. That's true. Now, Belgium, or the Austrian Netherlands, was inside the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation up until the revolution, the time of the French Revolution. Keep trying, Jordan. Now, I did not plan to do a history lesson, but anytime I see these dates, it always makes me start thinking. I did not see a thick head of foam like they're talking about, but I don't have exactly the same glass, but it's a chalice glass, so that's not matching up. The burgundy color, yes, yes. The rich brown, depending on how the light is hitting it, yes. Now let's go back to the source page, and now Johnny Francione, the owner of the Global Beer Network, he does little videos about the beers, and he does a really great job. Now, of course, he's not doing a review because he's the man who's marketing the product. He's selling the product. So he's gonna say all of his beers are great, which to me they are, but he's the salesman. I'm just giving a review. But he'll give interesting videos about why they call it a double or a triple or a quadruple, such as that. I don't know what a Bornem is. I don't know what Bornem means. Tried to translate on Google. It just said Bornem means Bornem. They don't give the aroma. Okay, so I am picking up. Well, as you would imagine, a pretty full nose. It's sweet, and it's. I have to take a little sip because I'm thirsty. Bready. Well, it's dark malt, so what do you expect? It's going to be bready. There's raisin. There's spice bread. And that's about it. And the aroma is not. If you put your nose straight over it, you get that spice that's coming from the yeast. But from a side, so you really have to dig deep into it. And I have a West Lateran 12 glass, and that was a very expensive 6-pack, $85. You got a 6-pack of beer, 11.2 ounces, and 2 of these beautiful glasses. One I kept, one I gave to my friend Paul. And he's still aging that West D12 from 2012. I said, we need to do it. We need to drink it. Okay, I think he's trying to go 5 years. Now, in the flavor with this Bornem Dubbel, hey, 8% alcohol, not a joke. It's a strong ale with the flip. Oh, well.
Hello.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was having some serious troubles with the internet and stuff.
I know you're frustrated.
Yeah.
He was about to shoot the internet.
That's what I get. Sorry?
I said he was about to shoot the internet, people.
Yeah.
He's going
very close to it.
Going to shoot the internet. Hey, well, I'm glad you're able to connect. And I was talking about the flavor of Bornem Dubbel, and I said how you had it before, and then you were suggesting that we examine it together. So you are up there. Welcome from Alberta, a place I've never been.
Yep, way up north.
Interestingly, the state I live in, Louisiana, And the province, that's a Canadian word that they use for state. Basically means the same thing, state, province.
Yeah.
Both of those places, Louisiana and Alberta, are named after royal figures from Europe. King Louis XIV of the House of Bourbon and Princess Alberta, daughter of Queen Victoria, correct?
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
She had so many children. Okay, so enough of the history. I was going on and on about history of Belgium, and people are probably like, oh, I'm getting off of this examination. I don't care.
So which one are we drinking tonight? I brought both of them.
I was
Just
how about Dubbel? How about double? And then if we can go tomorrow night, Thursday night, say Thursday night, we could do Tripel.
all right.
And I paid $17.99 for the variety 6-pack, and you paid a little more, but the Canadian dollar is depressed relative to the US dollar right now, correct?
Yeah, yeah. It was right around, well, that, and we have crazy tax over here on beer. So
Sorry.
mine was about $5 a bottle for the 6-pack.
Yeah, I paid $3 per bottle. I'm sorry that you have these terribly high taxes. Our taxes are high too. They're so unfair. But we're not going to get into our resentment towards certain governmental structures, etc. Right? But
yeah.
But we know the game.
Yep. So 7.2% alcohol, eh?
My bottle says 8.
All right.
Look on the front of the bottle. Mine says 8%.
Mine has the ABV at the back label there.
Wow, that's interesting. It's different. It's slightly different. What does it say?
It's a 7.2% alcohol from Brouwery van Steenberge. And yeah, this is the it says 10/09/16 bottling, or best before.
This is really weird because we're drinking the same brand of beer, but it's 2 different ABVs. So I'm getting a relatively, 7.2 to 8. That's a pretty big jump, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So I'm getting a lot huskier offering, and I don't know why on earth it would be that way. But I know that Johnny Francione, he's the importer for America, probably Canada too. Do you have the Global Beer Network on there?
Let's see.
Because he and his wife, they handle a huge amount of mainly Belgian beers coming over, and their thing is they only import living beers, or is it real ales in England?
Yeah. No, it doesn't say Beer Network at all, or Global Beer Network.
He made a montage video about a month ago where he was kind of promoting his company, and he he included lots of different beer reviewers, like myself and Maria Devon and a bunch of other people, and I thought it came out really nice, and
yeah,
it's interesting because now he has an easy task because he's selling all these fantastic beers, so he's got all these video reviews of everybody saying, "Oh, it tastes so good! It tastes so good! It tastes so good." Now, if I was the importer of Minhas, I would have a hard time making a montage,
Yeah, it tastes okay would be the best best thing you could say about it.
This beer I didn't throw up.
Yeah.
Like the other 3. Oh, well, let's get off of something so terrible as that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was into the taste. So I noticed the aroma. I couldn't get a thick head on mine, but I have a different glass shape-ish. You have more of a tulip stem.
Yeah.
And I have the straight up chalice. So I wasn't getting an enormous.
It smells very like raisin and plummy.
That's what I said. Raisin and spiced bread.
Yeah, and lots of yeast. But yeah, cheers.
Cheers, clink.
There is a nice spice to it, eh? Like a peppery kind of cinnamony almost.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like a spiced holiday bread, like something you might get at Christmas time, Thanksgiving maybe, but like a dark bread, right? Not that unlike fruitcake, but of course, fruitcake has those dried sugared fruits, but it even has some of that, like you're talking about the plum and the raisin.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it would pair well with fruitcake, which is more of a bread than a cake anyway.
Yeah, very fruity. I'm getting a nice amount of like a pear or apricot maybe in the background. Very, very fruity. Lots of stone fruit to it.
You know, like those pears that you get off of a tree. You can't eat them because they're too tough, but you can bake with them. I don't know what they're called, but we used to have 2 of those in our yard, and we would bake, like my father would bake like pear pie or something, whatever he would make with them, and it would come out really nice, but you had to bake them, you know, to get them soft. But it does have that flavor. But
yeah.
Boy, it's a fascinating product. I can't believe it's been a good while since I've had it. You've had it before, eh? Now it's got me saying A.
I believe so, but I don't know exactly. Pretty sure I've had it before. So many beers out there, you kind of lose track, you know. But
yeah, look at what's behind you.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really nice, slightly simple double ale. Lots of good bready, fruity characters to it.
The aroma's starting to come alive.
Sorry?
I noticed in my sample, the aroma is starting to come alive.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Almost like a wine-like character. Very dry finish to it, I find.
Yeah.
Lots of carbonation.
You're right. Almost a champagne-like finish, which might sound bizarre to people, but you'd have to drink it. I don't have any residue at the bottom of my bottle. Maybe just the slightest little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Yep.
The weird thing about my bottle is it's all the sludge is right on top for some reason.
On top.
Like big yeasty.
It's a beautiful label. It's sort of a midnight blue with the gold and white, and that stork eating a worm.
Yeah, it's very attractive labeling on this one.
If you notice, the label even has like a matte finish. It's a different type of finish than a normal label. Like expensive tablecloth almost. It's not just.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's not just like slick paper. You know what I mean? It's like almost like a finish on really nice, like a picture framed. Well, this company, they do great work to me. Of course, the Pirat, I guess, is their most famous one, huh?
Yeah, Pirat and Guldendrach. They also make a couple more.
Yeah.
Augustin. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that.
Sorry?
I said, yeah, I've had that one, that Augustin. They're saying fruity taste and hoppy aftertaste. Doggone right. There is a hop aftertaste that gives this beer balance. It gives it a bitterness that offsets that initial sweetness.
Yeah, there's a slight amount of bitterness. Of course, I'm a big hophead, so very mild compared to some of the IPAs out there, but a definite hoppiness to it.
Hey, this is a little bit of a shock here. I'm looking at their website, right? So I was looking for that one you were talking about, and it says Celis White. I said, Celis? Hold on. This used to be made, okay, Pierre Celis. You might have heard of him, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
He's the guy that created Hoegaarden back in 1965 or 66. It was like a dead style. Like no one drank white beers, okay? So then he said, this is sad, you know, that no one drinks these. So he like recreated the beer that they called White from Hoegaarden. I'm looking right.
Yeah.
He moved to America and he started trying to sell that stuff here, and he failed. He just wasn't really a good businessman. He was more of a brewmaster, and he died, unfortunately. It says he went to Texas and he put in 1992 the wit beer according to the age-old recipe on the American market under the name Celis White. I remember this. Then it was bought out, I remember, by a company called Michigan Brewing, and they made Celis White and Celis Grand Cru, and they went out of business in 2010. Well, after he died, his family, I guess they didn't know what to do with the brands. Well, looks like Van Steenberge took care of that because they're selling it now. Celis White. This is sort of like Pierre Celis's version of Hoegaarden, okay? Because InBev bought out Hoegaarden. And then
do they still make the beer? I think it's Lute or something. Leute.
To my Van Steenberge?
Yeah.
Let me look on their website. I have their website called up. Let's see. Augustin. Oh, Lute Bock beer.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one when I had it.
Let me show you something real fast. Hold on.
A couple summers ago. Sure.
I happen to have this in my fridge. I bought this about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to check that Lute out. It's called Celis Grand Cru.
I have never seen that before in my life.
Hey, and it's all about Pierre Celis. It's 9% alcohol, buddy.
Nice.
And it is coming from Stratford, Connecticut. So this is really strange. There are Americans making it, and there are Belgians making it, and I think they're making two. They're like by location. It's the same recipe that they bought the rights to, and one is coming out of Europe and one's coming out of America. So that's really interesting to me. And this Grand Cru, I had one that was out of date, like 3 years, and it still tasted fabulous.
What style of beer is that?
It's like an imperial wit beer.
Oh.
It's like you've had Hoegaarden, right?
Yeah.
It's like a super strong version of it.
I find that Belgian beers do age wonderfully, except for like the low ABV ones, of course, like Hoegaarden and
Stella.
yeah. I don't really consider that a Belgian beer, even.
Well, it's coming from Belgium. Hey,
yeah.
Let's see what they say, and then we'll get back to this. It says Lute Bock beer since 1927, and then they brought it back in 97. Oh, it's a Bock. Ooh, so they do make lagers over there. Ooh, wee. Oh, yes, I'll be very interested in trying that little item.
What else does Van Steenberge make?
Gulden Draak, Augustin Blonde, Augustin Dark, Augustin Grand Cru, ooh, Pierrot Triple Hop, Pierrot, and Cellus White, Bornem Triple Double, St. Stephanus Blonde. I've had that St. Stephanus Blonde.
I don't think it's available in my area. I've never seen it at least.
Yeah. Well, Augustin. Well, let's get back to this because we're getting so excited, or at least I'm getting so excited I'm getting off track, but I do that all the time.
Who makes a Meredsus then? Or Meresus?
Oh, now see, he's doing it too. That is a dynamite product. You're talking about that Meredsu 10, and there's Meredsu 12. I don't remember.
8, pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I see them all the time. Those are dynamite. And another one that comes from Belgium that's very unknown, sort of. It might be from the Netherlands, but that same area. It's called Melure.
Oh, yeah. That's Belgian. Pretty sure it's Belgian.
That Melure 12,
Mm-hmm.
that will knock you out. Not to say that I got knocked out. I'm just saying it hits you like a hammer. And it's so light.
Is that a quadruple?
The Meredsu 12?
Or a triple?
Wouldn't a quadruple be more likely to be a 12% beer?
Yeah, I think so.
The other way around, wouldn't a 12% one be more likely to be a quad?
Yeah.
But it's strong. It's like dynamite in a glass.
Oh, I like those beers a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got a lightning bolt on it. It's like, you know, when you drink stuff like Meredsu 12, then you drink something like Bornem, it seems mild. And a lot of people would think 8%, oh, I couldn't handle it. It's too much. But I guess when you get what you say acclimated to it.
Yeah, I find with big alcohol beers, especially the ones from America with the like 15% ABV and stuff, that's got to be the only beer you drink, because everything after that, your taste buds are going to be completely destroyed from it, you know? And even with like 10, 11% beers, drinking a beer like this or Hoegaarden, stuff like that, it'll taste like water afterwards. Like it's pretty nifty.
Yeah, you're right. Now, some of these high ABV beers you just can't ever enjoy, like Axe Head. I don't know what you do. You cannot enjoy it. It's a horrific, monstrous, horrendous atrocity of mankind.
I sent a couple of those to Albino Rhino Beer Reviews. You know him. He recently, yesterday actually, he returned the favor and sent me some high gravity, terrible beers or light lagers, stuff like that from his area. He said, "This is revenge." And for some reason, I don't think it'll get worse than Axe Head, but
I don't think that's possible, except you probably never had Super Brew 15. That was worse. Earthquake 12%, Earthquake 12%. In my 20-year beer drinking career, folks, this is the truth. 20 years. And yes, there have been 4, maybe 5 days in those 20 years where I have not drank beer. I'm saying maybe. Someone's telling me it hasn't been that many days, but I'm going to say, okay, 5 days in 20 years. All right, so now some people say, oh, no, you need to go to a treatment center. We're talking about 2 beers a day on average, right? So 3 beers per day, which is like, that's like drinking water, really. But actually, beer makes me feel better. When I used to drink soft drinks like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Dr. Pepper and all that, now I start drinking beer and I was like, oh, wow, I felt bad all my life. Oh, okay. I know I felt bad.
Unless you drink too much, of course. But
I'm talking about, yeah, right. I'm talking about the type of strategy I use, which is the moderation at all times.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, now I feel better all the time.
2 or 3 beers a day I find is really good, but any more than that, you can really screw up your system, I find.
Right, it becomes, you start having a, it's the law of diminishing returns. But that Earthquake 12% was the only beer in 20 years that ever made me throw up, vomit, puke, whatever word you want to use. It's so terrible to say it. That's the only one ever. Now, would it have happened with other ones? Oh, yes. If I would have drank all of that Super Brew 15 from Bucharest, it would have happened. But I just said, it's going down the drain. I dumped it down the drain. I was going to try to take 1 sip every hour on the hour, but I couldn't do it. I said, I can't do it.
Yeah, some beer I take 1 sip and I know, well, looks like my sewage system's going to get drunk today, because I'm not going to get drunk off of this. It's
no. And I drank this I drank something called 40 Street Legal.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm going to drink it all. And I did. Didn't throw up.
Yeah,
I
there's
felt sick for 2 days. For 2 days, I felt ill, like my body was poisoned. I was like, you know what? I don't need to review beer this bad. This is a joke.
one day I have to send you a bottle of Canada's version of Colt 45. It's 8%, so it's quite different.
Yeah. Well, we get a version of that, and it's called Colt 45 High Gravity, and it's 8.5%.
Mm.
But it's rare. Like, you can't get it in Louisiana. But I can turn. But that doesn't mean anything, because I can turn right around and go to a store right there, less than 1 mile away, and I can get at least 2 different 8.1 and 8.2% lagers. So, but they're pretty high quality. Like, they're made by Anheuser-Busch and Miller. And we're going to get back to Bornem, okay, folks?
Yeah, we've been off topic for 10 minutes, I think.
Let me tell you, folks, believe me, if you drink something like Axe Head or Earthquake 12% or these other things we're talking about, then you go and drink Ice House Edge 8.0% or Hurricane High Gravity 8.2%, things like that. Believe me, you will notice the quality is so different. Because Miller and Anheuser-Busch, they might make beers that you don't like, because most craft beer people will say they're dull. I can understand that point. But they are not
Boring.
low quality. They are not low quality.
Boring doesn't mean bad quality, I always say. Personally, I hate Miller and Budweiser, but they are good beers. They're great examples of the style, easy drinking, but you know, that's another topic for another time.
Right, that's a reference issue, yeah.
Yeah, regarding the Bornem Double, I think it's just a really well-made double. A great example of the style. Not amazing, not anything I'd write home about, but it is a really nice beer. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's amazing. I'm trying to think if I ever had a double that was amazing. But it's solid all the way.
Mm-hmm.
If this beer,
sure.
If I'm going to say this about Bornem Double, and I'm sorry that we got off track, but you tend to do that when you're drinking an 8% beer. But look, 7.2 in your case. But look, if this beer has flaws, I want to know what they are. I mean, I really want to know what they are, because if you're going to sit there and pick this thing apart and talk about the flaws, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Van Steenberge, their beers are all good to really, really damn good, you know? And but they don't make amazing beers. They don't make flawed beers at all. It's all really nice stuff you could go back to again and again. Really good price. But as a rating on your scale, I go like B plus, A minus, that range, I think.
I wouldn't feel comfortable going below an A. Solid,
Oh,
most
yeah.
excellent. I think it's a most excellent beer because I don't ever score. I don't generally, I shouldn't say ever. I don't generally score things lower because of like a style issue or if the company's hitting the target they're aiming for. It's like
Mm.
they're aiming for a mass market, relatively strong now, 8%, rich, highly approachable beer that would appeal to a whole lot of people. And they hit the
Yeah.
target in the right in the bullseye. So I don't, and for what they're trying to do, it is most excellent. Now, is it
True.
like ultra gourmet, exquisite, and it's going to take you to new realms of beer drinking? No, it was never created for that. So, but then, you know, I catch a lot of flack because I give beers like Natural Ice, which is from Anheuser-Busch, an A- because it hits all the targets on what it's trying to do. But the thing is, as a beer drinker, you may not like that target board. But if you go, you know, you buy the game you like. If you go to a game shop, you buy the game you like. But that doesn't mean the games you didn't buy are bad. They just weren't your game. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna encourage people to buy beers I know they won't like. That's just, I don't know, disrespectful almost. Uh, like I don't know. But yeah, this one's good. If you like Belgian doubles, I think you'll love this one. So
Yeah, an A- I can kind of go along with it. B+ I can't go along with, but sometimes even that letter system that I'm talking about that I use, I'll argue with myself mentally, you know, like before I'm talking on air or after I'm thinking. But if you look at it this way, you know, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Like you're trying to challenge yourself. Did you do it right? Whatever. Well, I appreciate you coming up with this idea to do the Bornem Double. And
for sure.
I'm not a huge fan of triples, to tell you the truth, but
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Triples are a big hit or miss for me. Stuff like triple Carmelier and like sorry, mind skipping a blank, but yeah, triple Carmeliet, stuff like that, I think is like world class, amazing stuff.
yeah,
But
that's a fabulous product. I
yeah,
always called it triple Carmelite, but I didn't know how to say it.
I have no idea how to say it. I just pronounce it how I read it the first time.
Yeah, but the Bornem Triple, I think it'll be interesting to look at it anyway, and we'll see how we'll see what we say about it.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks.
Should we do that later today?
That would violate my protocol because I'm trying to do. I did 4 beers today.
Ah,
So
all
I think
right.
just go. I think I better go make some hot tea. But Thursday night I'll be raring to go. That would be my nightcap beer.
Awesome. See you then.
Okay, thank you, and I appreciate
Oh,
everybody.
I guess see you tomorrow with the dead guy.
Are you going to join us for that?
Sorry?
You were able to get that beer?
Yeah, yeah. I bought it online, found it online, so awesome.
Oh, good. I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to send you the invite. All right. Thank you, folks, for watching this video production.